Welcome, 7th grade parents, to Back to School Night 2020. My name is Mrs. Jafri. One of the first questions I ask students is what word comes to mind when they hear the word math. The more the students list that word, the larger it is on this word cloud. So some typical words, fractions, equations, and then you've got things like problems or scary or annoying. And I take all of these different feelings that students have towards math, and actually I enjoy seeing the journey that students have as they grow as independent learners throughout the year.
Seventh grade math is a pre-algebra course. In this course, one of the things I'm really excited about is seeing the growth that students have on their journey as they become independent learners. This year we're using a new program called Savvis Realize. As part of that, the students have a physical textbook that they get to write in, and an interactive website.
I've been teaching at Waterloo Hartridge for 12 years. I've been teaching primarily pre-algebra to 7th graders and earth science to 8th graders. Here's my family. I studied in King's College in London, which is right on the banks of the River Thames. And that's actually where I was born and raised as well, in London, England. And then I got married and came to New Jersey and have been here for most of my life. I have 3 children, 2 of whom were graduated. All of my children are lifers, which means that they've been here since the age of 4 and even 3 years old. My children are grown up now, so I have my son who is doing a master's at NYU and my daughter who is doing her undergraduate at Georgetown School of Foreign Services. And of course, my baby is a junior, so I'm very proud of them all. I like to travel with my family and have been to 11 countries. You might recognize some of them. And I have lots of different hobbies that involve creating things such as henna art design. I make my own Indian desserts as well as baked goods. Of course, in previous years, we did a lot of hands-on things in the classroom, a lot of collaborative work, and we've had to rethink that this year. So on my ParaSchool page, there's lots of information that students need to get organized. Up on the right-hand side is the link to my Zoom classroom, and then lots of different links if students need help. For example, my email, and also what students need to do if they would like to schedule an appointment to meet me, as well as emails for our counselors, the middle school office, our pandemic response coordinator, and also one of the links that students often need is for tech support. So that is also here in addition to scheduling help with Mr. Farman. One of the features that I'm really excited about is the help desk. When students click on that, and also the tab is available on the left-hand side, they have the opportunity to post questions that they have and also to respond to questions that they see that other students have posted. In addition, here's where I will be posting solutions to the homework answers. So here's an example of students asking questions and also homework answers. So clicking on the answers here will download and open an answer key so students can self-check homework answers as they go along. My ParaSchool page is broken into weeks, so when students click on the current week, they will typically get the help information again, a plan of what we are studying for this week, what our objectives are, and then sub-pages break down the work. So typically in Preview and Predict, I introduce the topic. Explore and Learn is where we have the typical meat and bones. So students have the choice of either doing work in their physical student book or interactive book online. And they take a quick 6-question quiz after each lesson just to check their understanding. In Apply and Practice, that's where students may be doing work with their partners to answer questions or doing some interactive activities such as Desmos. And later on in the year, we'll be using Delta Math. So typically on Assess and Evaluate, students may be taking a midpoint quiz or an end of chapter test, but they could also be summarizing what they have learned in that chapter. So, examples, definitions, vocab, anything that they would like to put onto their own individual page to summarize what they have been learning. So this is another really nice feature that I like that Power in 7th grade math start off with building a strong foundation with integers and fractions, in other words, rational number operations. We then move on to doing operations with exponents and scientific notation. Proportion is another really foundational skill that we really kind of solidify here in 7th grade math. We also work on percents, of course, building algebraic expressions, solving equations, giving their work structure, checking work are also important. We will be exploring linear equations, graphing straight lines, and then usually we are in the 3rd trimester around the time when we start to explore problems with probability, area, a volume, and I hope to touch on Pythagorean theorem. Students receive physical student handbooks in which they get to write in. They already have all received volume 1 and will receive volume 2 probably at the end of January or around that time. They also have logins for a platform called Savvas Realize, which houses an interactive version of the student notebook, as well as videos, animations, problems that the students can solve and get instant feedback on. Lots of really very nice features on the Savvas Realize platform. Coming to class each day, students should bring a charged iPad if they're able to bring a charger. That's great. If not, then several of the classrooms do have charging stations. Students are welcome to have their iPads charging. In the 7th grade coordinator's classroom, I believe Mr. Chavez has one in his room, and I know that Miss Barnett has lots of outlets in her classroom too. I do also have some places for students to charge their iPad, but generally my room is used by 8th grade. So I encourage students to check in one of the other teachers' classrooms that I just mentioned. It's important to be organized, bring your books, writing implements, completed homework, of course, because each lesson in math builds on a previous one, and some form of recording their responsibilities. That can be a physical planner or an electronic planner. So 20% of my class is made up of homework and participation. Homework needs to be complete, not necessarily correct. Remember, I am also providing answers for students to self-check their work. 40% of the grade will be made up of quizzes. I plan to drop the lowest quiz each trimester. So that is, again, the lowest quiz each trimester. The other 40% of the grade will be made of chapter tests at the end of each chapter or topic, as they call it in Savvas Realize. So that will be assessments and projects. You can reach me by calling the school number and extension 308. If I'm teaching a class, I won't be able to answer straight away, but I will do my best to respond to phone messages as well as email messages within 24 hours on business days. If students need extra help, I encourage them to see me during study hall on Wednesdays or make an appointment using the Calendly link on PowerSchool.
This year is certainly different from others, so please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or concerns. I look forward to working with you.